Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of How to Be a Handmade Boss. I am here with Hannah today. Hi, Hannah.
Hello. Hi.
Oh, I cannot wait to hear more about you and your business and all that kind of stuff. So why don't we get started straight on into that? So tell us a little bit about you and what you do. Like, please plug away.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. So I'm Hannah. I'm a potter. I live in Cornwall with my husband, and I spend most of my days working in my studio on a farm in Cornwall. And the stuff that I make is mostly tableware, ceramics, all with a white speckle glaze, all thrown on a wheel. And if you want to check out my work, it's hannah.kinchin on Instagram, and my website is hannahkinchinceramics.com.
Okay, we'll definitely link that in the show notes below so you guys can have a little look. Cornwall sounds amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I've been here for seven or 8 years now, and it's has my heart.
Amazing. Every time we go, I'm always like, oh, I love it here.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a little bit far, but yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Where was it that you lived before?
Hampshire. So I'm about 4.5 hours from my family. So yeah.
Yeah, because my husband came from Hampshire, so he's like born and bred around there, and yeah, we're going to Cornwall in like a week or two, so it's like I can see the drive and I can see the difference.
Yeah. Oh,
what made you kind of get into pottery, ceramics? Like, tell us the kind of story of how you got into that.
Yeah, so I think, like a lot of people, it started from like a weekend course or just as a hobby. My nan took me on my first pottery course when I was 16, and I didn't really have access to continue it because obviously you need a lot of kit. You need a kiln and a wheel, and it was only until after uni really that I bought a wheel. So it's a kick wheel, so no electricity needed, and I just started renting a corner of a studio, practicing, and just fell in love with it. I sort of had no expectations to make it a business. It was just for my own love and enjoyment for a long time, where I was just honing my skills and just falling in love with the process. I'm a really methodic worker, so like working in my studio and throwing and trimming and all the tasks in between is just connects with me on some way. It's just the way I love to work. And the pieces themselves, I was just so drawn to simplicity in both like form and the color. I used just one white glaze for everything. So I just got completely obsessed and ran away with it really, and I feel like it found me in many ways rather than me seeking pottery out. But just kept coming back to it and loving it. And
that sounds awesome. Do you ever get like very creative with it, like because you've mentioned that you use the same kind of white glaze, which I love, like do you start something and then go, I'm gonna do something a wee bit different today, I'm gonna like make this like this, or tell us more about that.
It's really interesting. I think definitely towards the beginning of my journey there was loads of exploration, there was loads of just throwing for me. And I think now, so like with my business now, I've got a core collection, and so I find myself throwing mostly the same things every day just to keep those products in stock. But I love that. Like I'm not too disheartened by that. The creativity for me, maybe like once a month I'll set aside some time to just make whatever I want, and I've got some leftover clay. Oh, I could use that for just making something for myself, or maybe let's test out some colors, or but I think for the business there's a definite sort of brand, if you like, with the one glaze. But for me and my own creativity, I do try and explore. I should do it more often, but
it's always that thing that people are like, I make the same things which I love, but also there's that little part of me that's like, what if?
Totally.
Have you got like a little corner? Well, I guess it's not really a corner now because you probably have a lot of equipment. Like where's your workspace?
So it started off in a little corner of a shared studio, and now I've got my own studio, so on the same farm in Cornwall. But it's my own space, although I do share it with my husband who has like a jewelry bench at the back. But yeah, I mean, I'm even outgrowing that space now. It's pretty mega. It's yeah, it's just my happy place. I absolutely love it.
So cool. I've always wondered, like, this is like a pure curiosity question, but have you got a big kiln? Like, is it a big chunky kiln, or is it like a small one?
Yeah, so I started off with a small one, and then I upgraded to quite a big one. I actually don't know how many liters it is, but so now I've got two that are like working in operation, you know. And I have dreams of getting a new kiln someday, but I think I might wait until maybe the Christmas rush to invest in that. But yeah, at the moment, just like two sort of medium-sized kilns is working really well for me.
Yeah, because they're not cheap, are they?
They're not cheap. No, in terms of business investment, it's yeah, it's pretty daunting.
Yeah, I bet. Wow. No, that sounds awesome. What's been, okay, I'm gonna ask you this now. What's been the funniest pottery mistake that you've made along your journey that you look back on now and you're like, oh?
It's so easily done. I just feel like with pottery there's so many to pick from. The one that comes to mind is when me and my husband were out for a walk in Dorset. We foraged some wild clay, and I was really excited to use this wild clay, and I processed it and I threw some little bud buzzers with it, and then popped it into a firing, and it just melted all over my kiln.
Oh no.
Because I didn't know what type of clay it was, and it was a terracotta, well, probably a terracotta, which has a much lower firing temperature. So I just had a black gloop all over my kiln shell.
Did you have to like clean it off?
I had to like scrape it off with a chisel. Yeah, it was not fun.
Oh, that's so annoying. Oh no. And I guess there's like a certain amount of like, you have to understand how each type of clay, like what you said, will react to heat in a certain way. It's almost like a chemist, almost like that kind of vibe.
Definitely, especially with glazes, like the whole chemist thing is, you know, any wrong ingredient or something to throw it off balance can have a completely different effect. So yeah, I mean, you live and you learn. I will not be using wild clay from now on.
It sounds so dreamy, but the reality of it is,
comes with its challenges.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It sounds awesome, and I love the fact that you do the white glaze, because I feel like that's going to go in a lot of people's homes, because you're not going to get that, oh, I love this but it's purple and I don't have anything purple, or it's pink and my room is this color. So I think that's a really smart move, and like the simplicity of it as well. Like you say, I bet you're able to see the textures and like the handmade style of it a lot more when it just has that one color.
Yeah, that's so true, and that's a lot of the comments that I get at a market would be around that. So, you know, I think it keeps it all quite cohesive, and it's really easy to gift it to someone, isn't it, when it's just a simple glaze. And there's a real elegance to it as well. And yeah, I mean, especially with what you said about the texture, I think, yeah, it shows up a bit more, and the form of the piece is sort of showcased. So yeah. I've got one more random question. What's the biggest piece you've ever made? Oh, it would have to be one of my fruit bowls. Not massive, but it was, I was quite proud of it. What's interesting about my wheel is that it's a standing kick wheel, so I'm stood up, which means that I don't actually have that much height to pull. I don't know if you've watched throwing videos where they're like pulling like really far up, but I'm quite limited with the height that I can get. But so that's why I was particularly proud of these big fruit bowls.
Yeah, I bet, because you managed to get it up quite a chunky amount.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. So when did you first kind of come across Handmade Bosses, the whole ecosystem?
Yeah, I had to look this up, but it was just over a year ago, March 2025, which I found you on Instagram, and there was another creative that I really admired, and she was following you. So I thought, well, if she's good enough for her, she's good enough for me. And just started following along. It was the podcast especially that I really got into and just devoured every single episode. And it was so helpful. I was like, this is amazing. This is made for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And obviously you're in the HBSA. So when did you join that?
So that was April 2025. So really not that long after
No.
discovering you. I didn't need that much convincing, apparently.
You were like, yeah, I'm done. I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. So talking about the HBSA then, what kind of impact the past year and I guess a year and a bit now has it kind of made on like your business and you, I guess?
Yeah, such a good question. It's going to be really hard to sum up because it's just been huge. I think, you know, I actually have a business to start with. Like a year ago, I would still definitely call it a hobby and, you know, my passion. And I had sold at a Christmas market, I think, and it had gone really well. And so, you know, around March time, I thought, let's open up an Etsy shop. Let's start selling and see where this goes. So when I joined the HBSA, it was at the really early stages of my Etsy journey, which I think really, really helped because the course just helped me lay all those foundations that I needed really well. So branding and who my target market is, product photography, how to utilize my Etsy listings, like that was all there from the start and just let me like hit the ground running, really. I think it was, yeah, huge impact. And I always describe the course as if someone knew exactly what I wanted to do, which is turn my hobby into a business. And then they wrote out a huge checklist for me in the order that I needed to do them and was just like, here you go, off you pop, which is again, like completely how my brain operates with the methodic work and the ticking through the modules one by one. And yeah, I was like, this is perfect. This is what I need. And so, yeah, I mean, I actually, you know, I have a business now. It's going well. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, you said at the beginning of this, like you're making stuff to just like keep it in stock. So that sounds like really exciting.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, it's been huge.
I love that. What impact would you say like the HBSA, your business has had on your life? Because it sounds like a year or so ago, or just over, it was just like tentatively like dipping your toes in, kind of, and then now it's just like your whole body's in, like it's
pretty much. Yeah. So a year ago, I think I was working 4 days a week for another company, 3 or 4 days. And I still sort of do 1 day a week for them, which is really nice. But most of the time I'm in my studio. So I'm able to do this mostly full time, which is great. And, you know, in terms of my life, I'm doing what I love every day. And if there's a really sunny day, I'm like, right, let's just go for a walk on the beach. Or, okay, I'm not really feeling thrown today. I'm just going to go to a cafe and do some admin work. Or actually, I've got to run a personal errand. You know, like my time is my own and I can completely, within reason, do what I want with that. So for me, I'm a really early riser and just getting up, going to the studio, cracking on, and then at 3 o'clock maybe or 4 o'clock thinking, oh, I'm just going to go home. You know, I'm just completely, I can work at the rhythm that I enjoy and that works for me and that, you know, works with my body clock and yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's the dream. And just the whole thing is like a whole dream come true, you know, being able to work for myself and just throw pottery and do what I love. And as well as the pottery, I love the business side of it. I love building this brand and this business and developing new products. And yeah, I've really found my thing in life, and to be able to make money and sustain my lifestyle from it is just, you know, it's all I can ask for, really. It's been amazing.
That sounds so amazing, because it's like I think a lot of people I think when they first start, their goal is I need to make sales money, which I do get, but there's also that side of it, like you said, with the time and the fact that you are able to just go, I'm going to work in my body's rhythm rather than, you know, because I have ADHD. So for me, it's like there are some days where I'm like, I can't. And if I was in like a full-time job, it would be a freaking nightmare. It really would.
But haven't you? Yeah.
So it's like you have to work at certain times. Whereas I think when you then become more so self-employed and doing something that you want to do, it's very much you get that back and you're able to like manage your time. Because today you might feel like just going to a cafe and just sitting down and just, I don't know, making some social media or something like that. But then tomorrow you might be okay enough and like really excited to do like a 10-hour day where you're just making consistently.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it's freedom, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, for sure. What's been your biggest takeaway from the course itself? Because I'd be really interested to know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a biggest one. That they've all the modules have been so impactful in their own way. I did really enjoy the photography module, which is quite funny because I did a degree in photography and yeah, I learned so much from it. It was so fun. I really went into it maybe a little bit what's the word, arrogant, I don't know, like thinking, oh well, I've got a degree in this, I know what they're going to say, sort of thing. But my degree was very much, it was called marine and natural history photography, so it was very to do with the natural world, whereas this module was all about product photography. And you know, it was amazing. The before and afters of my photos after doing that module are such an improvement. It's yeah, it's really good to see. So yeah, that module was really good. And then I just think like the whole mindset shift with actually running a business and saying, I run a business, I am a potter. You know, you start the course with a mindset module and it's all about what do you want to achieve, why are you doing this, you've got this kind of thing. And that for me was huge. You don't think of yourself, well, at least me a year ago, I didn't think of myself as running a business, but now, like, yeah, this is what I do. Like this, like, it's given me so much confidence in saying that, which even that little thing I think was a big takeaway for me.
Yeah, because that's huge. Because again, it's like you're making that transition between being employed and kind of being told what to do, when to do it. You know, good job, not so good job, probably the majority of the time, because people don't like to give people praise at jobs, do they? And then you kind of go into this world of like, oh yeah, like we said, I have complete agency over my time, what I achieve, results, like, yeah. And I think that does have a major effect on people. It's always almost like, am I allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, for sure. I love these two questions. These are always my favorite questions. First one is, how different is your business from a year ago, like today? If I was to say, how different is it? Like, I love that. Tell me more.
Yeah. I mean, completely different. Like, as you know, like I wasn't really starting out a year ago, but even from this whole journey, my business now has structure. Like, I have a product range and I have a few wholesale clients, and I can map out my year. You know, I know when I'm going to be busy and when I'm not, and I know when I can stock up and when I can focus on selling. And, you know, so it has a structure to it, and I know what I want to do with it, and I know where I want to go. And I think, yeah, from a year ago where I was just sort of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks, and just sort of making whatever. And yeah, it like now it feels like a real I've got a plan, you know.
And this is my favorite question. Where do you see your business a year from now?
Yeah, it's so fun to think about. Yeah, I just don't know. The possibilities are endless, aren't they? I almost just want it to kind of continue as it is for a little bit, and just more of the same, more of me in my studio working, new products. I don't think I necessarily can see myself taking on staff or anything like that. I think for a little while I want to keep it just me and work on making it more sustainable for just me. So maybe that involves you know, building up stock outside of the Christmas season, or I don't know, maybe doing a little less markets and more focusing on online sales. So sort of, yeah, growing it still, but not hugely. I'm quite happy with you know, how it's going. But one thing I would love to do is increase my website sales. So Etsy's going well, but I've just launched my new website, and I would love for that to be, you know, more of a thing, more like put more into that. And
Yeah. We do. When you have your like cafe working days, if you go to, I think it's in might be phase 2. I'm pretty sure there's like the website bit in there, and it like tells you like how to rank on Google, and it basically goes through like this color coded thing. So that might be one to watch, especially like if we want to get like the organic search traffic and stuff in.
That's
so
it, yeah, we'll do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's not the most creative video. It is, I mean, even I'm going to say it's a little bit boring, the things you have to do, but they're important things that then you do, and you're like, oh yeah, all right, I'm glad I spent a day doing that.
Yeah, completely.
What piece of advice would you give to yourself a year ago, or maybe not even yourself, but other people who are in your shoes where you were a year ago?
Yeah, that's so nice. So there's one sort of like mantra, if you will, like this sort of advice or just a statement really that goes through my head, and it's from one of the affirmation episodes that you did, which I've listened to probably about 100 times. I'm not even kidding.
To make more of those, don't I love doing those.
They're so good, but the one that like really stuck with me was, I deserve to be financially comfortable doing what I love. And I was like, yes, oh my gosh, I love that. And I it's really stuck with me. I need to get it on a poster or something, because it's true. Like, you know, there's such a stigma around creativity and creative businesses where, oh, that's really hard to make money from. Like, are you going to do that? Are you going to be able to achieve that? Like, oh, I don't know about that. But actually, just that those affirmation episodes that I've listened to, it's like, no, come on, we can do this. Like, I deserve to be financially comfortable doing what I love. And there are so many ways to make money in this world, and you might as well do it doing what you love. So I would tell myself that, or anyone that, you know, just because your talents are creativity doesn't mean that you can't make money, you know. I think that's what I would probably say.
I'm like nodding profusely. I'm like, yes. No, I completely and utterly agree. I think it's this whole which is to be honest, part of the reason why the mindset bit comes first, because I think it's this whole starving artist concept of like if you do anything creative, it's like, oh, you know, you'll have a nice life, but you won't make money at it. And I fundamentally know that not to be true.
Completely.
But it's trying to like change the mindset of others, because I think people maybe like watching this, listen to this, they're probably like, yeah, I kind of feel that way. And although Steph and other people have said it to me multiple times, like you can make money at it, sometimes it still doesn't sink in.
Yeah.
I think it's until you have that aha moment where you're like, maybe you have a massive week or a month in sales. And I think it's that breakthrough moment almost where you're like, oh, this is what she was on about. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, people do want to buy this.
Sure, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's so important and really good that you've like kind of got that mantra. So even when it does get a little bit hard, or maybe things feel like an uphill struggle, or you're just feeling like, it's good to have that there where you're like, no, this is the choice that I made, and I know it can work. I just need to find my path to it, kind of thing.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Love it. All right, last question. I love this one. I find out all sorts of really interesting things about people. I'm so nosy. What crazy but true fact is there about you?
Yeah, I love this question too on all your podcast episodes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The only thing I can really think of is that I used to live in a van for a few years, which was really fun, especially in Cornwall, because you just rock up to a beach and, you know, have a nap, cook your dinner. Yeah, so yeah, for I think 3 or 4 years I lived in a camper van, and it was the most fun ever, and I loved it.
Oh, that sounds so good. My mum and dad are really wanting to do the whole like camper van life thing, where they want to like downsize, like put a lot into this really fancy vans. They can drive around like Europe and the
Oh,
UK.
yeah, they should do it.
Yeah, I am like, that sounds really good. Can I borrow it though?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, it sounds awesome. And the freedom with that must be awesome.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, it was a bit bittersweet, sort of moving on from that lifestyle, but life moves on. And but yeah, it was really cool part of life when it was happening.
Yeah. What did you used to do? Because this has always been a question for me. When you used to have like heat waves and it was really, really hot, like how did you used to cope with that, especially at night when you had to like shut everything to go to bed?
Yeah, that's so funny. Like normally the issue was it being way too cold. I only remember the cold nights. I don't think I remember a warm, like a really hot night. I mean, I had a little skylight which I used to open, but I think in Cornwall the temperature is a bit more mild. So it's so funny. I don't think I ever had a really, really hot night, but definitely woke up in the middle of the night very, very cold and needing to put the wood burner on. That definitely happened.
Wow. So you had a little wood burner in there?
Yeah, a tiny little wood burner, but it would like heat the space up in no time. It was so cute.
Oh, that's so sweet. Little tiny weeny one. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, Hannah, thank you so much for coming on and having a little chat. And I've loved hearing about, and I'm sure everybody else has as well, hearing about your journey and about your business. So do you want to plug away again? Obviously, I will link it as well, but do you want to plug away again, Instagram, any other socials, website, Etsy, whatever you want?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Oh, this has been so fun. So thank you so much. And yeah, so my Instagram is hannah.kinchin. I should probably spell Kinchin. It's KINCHIN. And then my website is hannahkinchinceramics.com.
Love that. Well, thank you so much. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed hearing this as much as I have. It's been so fun. Is there any last minute little bit of advice that you want to give people? I cheeky extra question, but is there anyone listening that's like wanting to be where you are? Any last minute kind of like snippet that you want to give? Golden nugget.
Oh, I think first of all, just start. And my second thing is start well. So get those foundations in, get your branding sorted, know your target market. So first of all, start, and then second, start well. That's what
I love that. That's so good. Hannah, thank you so much for coming on. And for everybody else, I will see you same time next week for another episode of How to Be a Handmade Boss. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.